When I was 14 years old, a cracked open Lenovo laptop sat on my bedroom desk like a half-broken compass. I used it to guide me everywhere online, but at the same time, it never really took me anywhere too far. That was until that laptop, a YouTube tab I opened 5 minutes later, and a free AI model I found online became my first classroom, my first startup incubator, and my first unfair advantage. I didn't have venture capital, a Stanford network, or a Silicon Valley net worth, but I did have curiosity, frustration, and a question that wouldn't leave my head. Why do students with ideas feel so powerless? Many students in this audience know that feeling because classrooms teach us calc formulas and history dates, and those are important, but schools rarely teach us leverage. For the longest time, leverage has belonged to adults with titles, budgets, and permission slips. But artificial intelligence is quietly changing that power dynamic, and most classrooms still haven't noticed. I want to share one simple idea today. AI is not making students smarter. It is making students more powerful, and power changes who gets to shape the world. This idea benefits high school students, first-generation students, and especially those young builders who feel locked out of impact. But like any good story, this isn't a straight line of success because power always arrives with friction. My first encounter with AI wasn't glamorous, polished, or even ethical. It was a late-night ChatGPT prompt written in panic before a programming deadline. My conscience warned about cheating, and that guilt became my first conflict with AI. So I changed my approach. Instead of using AI to replace my effort, it would now extend my effort. It would now become a bicycle for my mind, teaching me new concepts, practicing them, testing them, and that distinction changed everything. I used that approach when I made an app for my school's communications department to track camera equipment. Before, missing camera lenses and $15,000 in losses haunted my school's communications teacher, Mr. Goli. After that app, a database and a workflow restored trust in her students. No company funded that. AI turned Mr. Goli's complaint into a system fix. That also taught me something important. Impact does not wait for permission anymore. Soon, users were asking me about safety, reliability, responsibility, and those were important questions because AI without judgment, it's like a chainsaw without gloves. So I shifted my approach yet again, and I started talking to users, parents, administrators, and I used that approach when I made a mobile app for students to track their driving hours on their phones. Before, paperwork wasted hundreds of hours every year for families. AI didn't replace people in that project. It merely removed friction. Time returned to families. Energy returned to classrooms. That's the subtle kind of impact that no headline celebrates. Now, I realized that what used to take years to learn, syntax, coding, websites, now takes hours to learn. Now students need judgment, the right values, and if you're building websites, a good sense of taste. Now, it's not a question of, can I build this? But instead, can I ship this? That question is entrepreneurship in its purest form. I like to think of AI like a river. For the longest time, rivers have provided water, trade, resources, but they have also flooded cities and drowned people. Students are standing at the riverbank right now. Some schools are building walls, but some students are learning to swim, and those students will be the ones who shape economies, nonprofits, policies. So, if you're a student, start small. Because the world isn't waiting for people with permission anymore. It's waiting for responsible young builders who care early. Builders with leverage, judgment, and the courage to swim. And AI, for the first time, puts all three within reach. Thank you.